going to be doing some really cool things today. We're going to start with a stretching routine, and then we've had a bunch of people ask, hey, could you show us what it's like for one of your live Zoom classes? And we go over a lot of the curriculum from white belt to black belt. So we'll probably pick one of the Q levels today, and we'll just go into some serious detail on like diving into how we would teach something so you guys can get a feel of what it's like to be on our live classes. We have had a lot of people that have been getting the black belt sets and starting their training with us and sending in their videos for tests. They love getting the feedback, and it's amazing how much you can actually learn online. I buy courses myself all the time on all sorts of different subjects, and I just love learning. And so it's really with this social media aspect to training, you can learn a lot from a lot of different people on the planet. You could pick an expert and go, cool, I'm going to learn this subject. And so that's why we're here, so we can learn ninjutsu. I've traveled all over the planet to help you guys be able to gather information, and you can have it, and we'll just have fun with this. So welcome. Let's start with the stretching routine, and we'll do a big hip routine too. I just came back from London, and I'm back in my body now, back in the swing of things, and it's so nice to be back. London was incredible. And here we go. Feet shoulder width apart. Take a deep breath, looking up and down. Let it out. Looking up and down. Let it out. Going to the left and to the right and to the left and to the right. Looking around in a big circle. Start really easy with your neck, and then if you want, you can go farther and push it a little bit more. I like to move my body, rock side to side with this. Switch directions, going in the other direction now. Keep maintaining your breath work. Deep inhales, deep exhales, bringing oxygen into your body. Left foot forward, left hand up, right arm around. Nice big wide circles. Open up that shoulder, those lats. Rock into your legs with this so you can start working on your taijutsu and getting your legs warmed up at the same time. It's summertime here, and what's really cool, reverse direction with your arm, is Hatsumi Sensei, when we be in Japan and you go in the summer, it's hot. It's really hot in Japan. They wouldn't always turn on the AC in the dojo, and you would have to have like 2 sweatshirts and bring some extra towels, switch feet. But he said, train what the season predicts or brings to you. And so in the summer, you're warmed up. Your joints feel good. Your ligaments and tendons are all firing off, and you're feeling great. Train harder. Take those heavier throws. Do those rolls. Listen to yourself and what your body's saying about that season. In the winter, things kind of close in. It gets colder. Maybe you don't take that heavy akemi anymore, but you still continue to train. You still are able to do things. And then those seasons actually go into the seasons of your life. So if you're young, you should be doing all the heavy hardcore stuff all the time. Like you're there. Do the banging. Make it happen. And then when you get older and you're mid-range, like me, then you start to listen to your body a little bit more. Maybe you don't do dive rolls down cement stairs like you used to when you go visit Japan. You go take it easier, and you just do the dive rolls on nice padded mats after a while. But it's fun. And then when you get older on, maybe you don't do the dive rolls. Maybe you go to different types of training where you'll go into forms more with sword and doing a bunch of the other stuff, but you're still training. You never stop. You're able to keep going. A lot of the Grand Masters right now, the current ones, are in their 80s and 90s that are coming up, and it's like they're still training. They're still going. So it's good inspiration for us to see what's out there. You never stop learning. And then you never stop growing as a person. It applies to life. Martial arts, they're so good for getting through life. They teach you how to deal with highs and lows, good and bad, and then you just go, well, it's just all part of it, and we just keep going. All right, getting into those hips, swinging it around town. I love doing hips. So there's a new hip one we'll do today. This comes from one of my Tai Chi teachers, and this one is really fun. So I'm going to pull my right hip forward and then back, and then my left. It's like I'm making a figure 8 with my hips, and this opens you up, gets into those hip joints in a little bit of a different way. And you got some really cool dance moves when you're at one of those weddings or something too. Now reverse the direction. Bring that hip around and come in on the other side. So I'm digging in, bending my knees, letting those hips come around. This is really good later on when you're doing all sorts of different moves with your hands and getting out of the way of punches and stabs and all sorts of different stuff. It's just good to let that blood flow into those hip joints, knees, spine. It just is all feeling good. Now we'll do another hip one. So you're going to pull up your hip on one side, let it come down, sink, and then pull the other side up. So now we're going like a figure 8 in this direction on this plane. So pull that right hip up, drop it down. Pull the left hip up, drop it down. Side to side, one side, pull it up, then the other. One side, then the other. Now reverse it. Dig that hip down and in and come up. Other side, dig it down and come up. You can see you can rock side to side with this and have one way, one the other. Awesome. Kick those legs out. Good job. All right, so let's spread our feet, shoulder, a little bit double shoulder width apart. Bend your knees. Slowly come down to the ground and touch if you can. Drop your head. Take a few deep breaths in. Let it out. Go to the right side. Stretching over. Come into the left side. Stretching over. Nice deep breaths. And back to the middle. See if you can straighten your knees out. Deep breath in. Let it go. Stretch out that lower back. Do a little wiggle in there. Down to the middle again. Going over to the right side. See if you can go a little deeper this time. Really get into that stretch. Over to the left. Stretch it out. This feels so good. Love stretching. Just love it. All right, back to middle and then come down to the right leg. We're going to do the side all the way down. Feet are touching the ground, toes are touching the ground. Go to the left side, switch it over. If you're home watching me and not stretching, get off your lazy butt and start stretching. I am your motivational speaker. All right, back to the other side. No watching. You have to participate in life. Get up. Here we go. One more time back over to the other side. And now your funnest thing to do. Go into the middle. Woo-hoo-hoo. Feel the love. All right, coming back down. Take a seat. All right, hope none of you ripped your hamstrings or your glutes. Here we go. Deep breath in, straight back. Go to the right. Let it out. Try to pull your stomach towards your leg. Oh, yeah. Feel the love. Going to the other side. This is what it's about here. Getting a nice stretch on, getting warmed up, get ready to train. Just set your mind up for such a good thing. Go into the middle. Stretch it out. Use those hands to crawl forward a little bit more. Oh, yeah. For you, those of you out there who are feeling the pain and really getting into it, it's okay if you cry a little bit. I won't tell anybody. Okay, going over to the right side. Woo! Stretch it a little deeper this time. Go for it. To the left. Oh, yeah. And one more time down to the middle. Perfect. Okay, bring the bottoms of your feet together. And we got to fix the mic here. There we go. I'm going to get my head snapped back with the mic cable. Grab onto your ankles. Deep breath in, straighten your back. On your breath out, push down on those knees. Oh, yeah, rock side to side. Get that going. One more time, deep breath, straight back. And push down. Oh, yeah. Okay, grab onto the bottoms of your feet this time. Straighten one leg out. Back in. Other leg out. And back in. One more time. Other leg out. If it's too easy, you could bring it out to the side more. One more time. Other direction. And then, for those of you who like a challenge, double, lock knees out, balance, and then you can let it go. Awesome. Hopefully you guys got to do that one. Okay, now we're going to get into some spine stretches. So, hands and knees, you're going to arch your back, look back towards your knees, and then go ahead and look up. Arch your back, looking up. Keep breathing, arch your back, and looking up. Okay, next one. This one's beautiful. You're going to take your right arm, go through, put your shoulder on the ground, head on the ground, arm up, and stretch it out. Give a little twist here. A lot of times I'll get some little pops and some extra love. Woo! Move that arm around a little, get a little wiggle. And we'll switch sides now. Left arm through, head on the ground. Put that arm up, wiggle around. See if you can get into that lat, that shoulder joint. Oh, feeling it. It's good. This is awesome. It's nice after a day to be doing this at night and just get moving. Okay, toes together. Spread those knees out now. This one's a really good one, and you can rock forward and push back into it. Go side to side, wiggle, wiggle, back forward, push back. Okay, now here's another one where you bring your feet out to the side and you flip your feet, your toes facing out. So we call this one the frog a lot of times, and we'll rock back in. You can't go as far with your toes out to the side, but you sure do feel it. Woo-hoo-hoo. Frog. Working that frog. Ribbit, ribbit. Oh, love it. Perfect. Okay, bringing those knees back in. Now, let's do a little hip routine today. We did this the other day, and I had a bunch of people write in, and they're like, where did you get this hip routine? Well, one of my teachers told me about this, and they said, you got to check out Kelly Starrett. He's a doctor out of San Francisco, and he has this book called The Supple Leopard. So I highly recommend you guys check out his website and his books. He does stretching routines and mobility routines that are next level. Okay, so we start with both of our hands here on the inside of our knee. Now we drop down onto our forearms. Take a deep breath. Get into that hip. Really start to move around. Wiggle, wiggle. And now you're going to push against your knee and give yourself resistance. You can move that other arm out a bit and push against it. Give some isometric training here. This helps fire off that abductor and adductors. We're working those, the inside and outside of your leg. Okay, crawl up over the top of your knee. Put your arm down and see if you can touch the ground. Stare into the valley of the stretch. I love it. Oh, that one just feels so good on my back right now. Just pushing into that lat. I can feel if I fire my tricep and elbow into the outside of that knee and give resistance back. So good. Okay, coming forward. Now, walk your foot over into the middle of your chest. Start to drop your knee down, but don't put it on the ground yet. And then just drop straight down towards your foot. You won't be able to touch your chest here. unless you're a Circus du Soleil person or something like that. They could just do all sorts of crazy stuff. But you'll start to see the benefits of rocking into this hip and really working it. Okay, drop that leg on the ground now. And now you're going to come down all the way over that knee. Couple deep breaths. Perfect. Turn to the outside and crawl out past your knee and twist. Oh, yes. And then go in towards your foot. Pull this one in and your chest goes over it. Very good. And let's come back up onto that foot. Shoot your foot behind the other one. Hold on to that knee. And push up through your palm, through your shoulder. And stretch out all of your lats down the side, down the outside of this leg. Pull your toes back, push your heel out, and feel that extra juice, that stretchy, stretchy love. Cool. Bring that foot forward. Now we're going to do a little rock and roll. All right, so we have this foot on top of our leg. We're going to bend our front knee, reach through, and grab on, and now we're going to do a few rolls. So what we're going to do here is just roll to the side and keep your leg on top. Oh, yeah. This is good. Awesome. You guys are doing really good. Okay, shoot that left leg out. And now we go for the front splits. So we're going to push our leg, stretch into that. Woo. And now since we've done all that hip work, I'm almost down all the way. I'm feeling good. Oh yeah, pull it back in. Go ahead and stand up for a second. Shake that out. Shake, shake, shaky. And we'll go down and we'll do the other side. So in between these, you give yourself a little break. Okay, now you do your opposite foot forward, right? So whatever side you had, switch it. 2 hands, starting. All right. Come down onto your forearms. Take some deep breaths. And I already feel good on this side, but it's good to balance it out. Got to do both sides. All right, move that arm out, push against your knee, give yourself resistance back. Take some breaths, nice and deep. Awesome, climb up over that leg. See if you can put your hand on the outside, push down. Oh yes, stretch that back. Give yourself resistance against it. See how that works. Nice. All right, coming back forward. Bring your foot over into the center. Do you want to stretch out? Come on over. You can. Okay. Foot's in the middle. Don't put your knee on the ground. And go ahead and come down with your chest. Stretching forward. Extra juicy hip routine today for you, for those of you just joining us. Thank you guys for joining. One of the best things about being a martial artist is you get to stretch. You get to maintain good shape for your body. That helps you with your overall health, mental health, physical health, and then you're ready to help take on the world with all the challenges it has. As a martial artist, I think you're in a better way when you're training and you're focusing on your own growth too, which is very important. You have to remember to take time for yourself. All right, putting that leg out on the ground, coming down with the chest. Woo, feel the outside of that light up. This is beautiful. Wiggle around in there a little bit. Then we're going to turn to the outside, give a twist, try to look behind you. Couple deep breaths. And turn towards your foot. Try to bring the chest over that. We've been training again with our local group here outside in the parks on Saturdays. The weather's just been amazing. And there's just so much good mojo when you're outside training. You can do all the long range weapons like spear and rokushakubo and stuff. Some of the kuketsu shoge with like 10 and 12 foot length ropes. So fun. All right. Come back up onto the bottom of that foot. Shoot your other leg out behind you. Push up on that backhand. Extend through your shoulder. Pull those toes back on the bottom leg. And really feel that stretch. Push up through. Take a few deep breaths. So you guys should be feeling a lot better than when we started this routine like I do right now. I'm kind of ready to take on the world. All right, here we go. We're going to do the splits again. So put that same foot we just started with forward. We'll try the other side. Splitting it out. Oh, yeah. I like to climb it up there a little with the heel. That one feels really good. Awesome. Okay, so we'll go back, shoot the foot behind, bring it forward. Now it's on top. And we're going to go ahead and rock back and forth. So lock your hands underneath, rock back and forth. This is a really good thing just to roll down your spine. A lot of classes will do a lot of rolling when we're doing the class. And it's just a good way to get in touch and then to learn how to take ukemi. Throws and falls. One more. Awesome. So that was our really good routine for starting out today for our stretch routine. Let's do one more thing with this stretch routine because we're going to end up doing some wrist locks and arm locks today. And I want you guys to have your wrists warmed up. So this is a really good one. Interlock your fingers. And just have your elbows up and go backwards and forwards with your hand. Just like this. Give yourself the time to really feel what happens with your wrists. And now go opposite and give yourself torque. One hand goes one way, one hand goes the other way. One hand goes one way, one hand goes the other way. Isometric training again. All right, now go back and forth sideways. So you're letting your wrist push one way. We call these moves takiori when we are bending the wrist and putting moves on people, but you can also takiori yourself so that you can start to use it for health. So a lot of martial arts is how to kink the energy in arms and put locks on with pressure points. In healing, we open them up. So you're pressing a lot of the same pressure points. You just have a different intent when you're doing that. So if you're a healer and you're a massage therapist or you're into other modalities of healing, you can be a really good martial artist because you learn how to do that. Okay, now a little bit of wave just to let those wrists and elbows warm up. Plus you got another dance move. Go the opposite direction. Really loosening up that wrist and fingers. And good. Now we're going to go like this. It's like you have a sword in your hand and you're going whoosh, 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 and you're cutting with it, but you're doing your wrists. Go the opposite direction. Rolling the wrists. These are really good if you've had wrist injuries. I'm a huge, back in the day, skateboarded so much, launch ramps, half pipes, all that good stuff. Had so many wipeouts with my wrists and broke my wrist a few times. And so I get to have fun with it, healing over and over again as I get older. But I'll do a lot of wrist stuff so that I can maintain my health and be able to still be able to do martial arts and all the wrist locks. Awesome. So you guys should be feeling a lot better with this. So we're going to get into some movements now. So what we're going to end up doing today is we're going to go over some basics of how to teach maybe the Kihon Happo. So let's go ahead and get into Ichimonji no Kata first. I'm going to show you guys a bunch of different ways to do Ichimonji no Kata. And we could do this solo training if you don't have a partner. But I happen to have a partner today. So I'm going to show you guys a bunch of ways to do different techniques with that, where you can do variations of Ichimonji no Kata. So Ichimonji no Kata is a really good kata for beginners to learn because it teaches how to get offline and then how to return a hit. This can be done unarmed and it can be done armed. And so it's one of the really big basic concepts of fundamental warfare. If somebody's stabbing something at you, get out of the way. And if you get out of the way strategically, then it's easier for you to return a strike. So if you're solo training out there, here's what we're going to do first with Ichimonji no Kata. You start with your right foot back. Your hands are up in a fighting position. We call this Ichimonji, figure number 1 form. As the strike comes in, the person's going to throw a right punch. I'm going to go out and I'm going to do an upper block. When we teach upper blocks for basics, we teach how to move your footwork. Then you move your spine work, your hips, and your shoulders, and we'll do like a bigger block. Later on, it might look like just like this, and then you're returning some type of a strike. You just refine that movement. But when you're first learning, it's good to get into your legs deep. You're physically training while you're doing that. You're learning how to do forward and backward, pulling, pushing, how to do twisting, and how to do all these different ways of coiling and uncoiling. So there's a lot going on here if you pay attention to all of the little specifics that you can do. Or you can just go basics at first, go into Ichimonji, throw a block, have the can come up and do a strike. So if you're solo training, this is Ichimonji no Kata. And you're going to pay attention to that back hand. So we're doing really good things here with our body. So when I first watch people do this, they keep their legs straight and stiff. Their bodies are stiff. They'll usually do a block and then they'll come through like this and they're learning it. Later on, you learn how to bend your knees. You relax your shoulders and you get into here. You stay low and you learn how to start to move your body in different ways. So you're not doing all of those basic bad behaviors. And you just learn to relax in general from doing these. So that is the basic Ichimonji. Now with a partner, we're going to start to learn about different angles that we can do. So the way we teach partner Ichimonji for basic training is both people start with their right foot back and we both have Ichimonji. The one person's going to throw the right punch. I learned to get out of the way, block, and then I come through and I'll strike. Now with the strike, I can hit in different areas. I can hit the collarbone, I could hit the neck, or I could hit the temple, right? Then we go back on the right side again, and it's your turn. I throw the punch, she does the block, comes through, and does the strike. Now, you can see there's different angles of attack here, right? So if I throw the punch again, you're in Ichimonji. She does the block, and she comes in with the strike. That was very good with her footwork, how she went off at a 45-degree angle. Now, once we have the basic angle down, where you throw the punch at me, and I know my 45, then I could go, okay, what target am I striking with this block? Am I trying to attack the attacking limb in some way? So we have different pressure points. Right where her elbow bends and just past that nodule is called the hoshi. The hoshi is a really cool spot where ligaments and tendons attach. And if I take my knuckles and I move them in a little bit, I can try and rip those off. So I can hit this in different ways to really damage the arm. If we're training with our partner, we usually just try to hit with the back of the hand and you just give them a regular tap. That's one of the areas. I could also target the jakin, where the bicep and tricep come together. There's a nerve ending in there that you can hit and deaden the arm, and it's amazing what happens. Or maybe she has a long reach and I'm just going to go and I'm going to hit the wrist or the hand. That's another thing to do. So if we're back again, I could just have a drill where I go punch, wrist hit, we do it again, Now I hit Hoshi, we do it again, and now maybe I moved in and I hit Jakin. And then we do it again, and maybe I come in and I hit Temple. So did you guys see what I was doing with my footwork? It was changing ever so slightly. I didn't point it out because I wanted to see who would catch it, right? So here's what we're looking at with our footwork then. If I come back, I have this long range. So I probably don't have to worry about secondary hits coming in as fast. If I do it again, I'm going to step, instead of backwards, I'm going to step straight out this time. And then as that punch comes in, now I can be in closer towards the Hoshi or the Jakin. And on the third or fourth one, I'm going to come forward at a slight 45 and then step in really close. And now I can block with my elbow and my forearm, and I can hit to the head. So now I've just taken a simple Ichimonji drill in just the first part of it, and we've started to look at different angles and distancing with this. So this is how you start to look at breaking down basics and how you can really get into it and discover it. Because people are like, oh, I'm tired of doing Ichimonji no Kata. I get it. You get offline, you return an attack. And I'm like, okay, have you really explored it? Have you gone inside? Have you gone outside? Okay, so there's another thing we could do. So let's move over just a little bit. You're going to throw the punch. This time I change and I switched legs, and now I'm on the outside and I'll hit the head in a different way. So for that one, right foot's back. I pull left foot back and I switch to my right. Then I come through and hit. So let's try just a few of those going back and forth. You go ahead and throw the punch. I'm on the outside and I hit. Now I throw the punch and you go to the outside, and now you do the hit. Boom. And then she throws the right punch and I go to the outside. And this time maybe I'll hit the ribs and just change it up because maybe her arm's up higher and I have to read the situation. So you go to the outside and you hit in. Nice. And then we go again, you punch with the right. I go to the outside, maybe I'll hold on and hit. And it just goes unlimited. You can keep going and keep going and keep going. We could put weapons into that then, and then it gets to be even juicier because then you have a different distance. So if I have a sword going, that's one thing. If I have a knife going, it's shorter. If I have a roped weapon or a chain, that's going to be a whole nother thing. But I can use the basic concept of getting offline and then returning the attack. So now let's look at the attack part of Ichimonji. So this is the fun stuff, that you're taking one certain move and you're just breaking it apart and like exploring it. And this is what you should be doing with all of the basic stuff, because really basics is just showing you a way, and then you explore and you go in and expand. All right, so if you throw the punch and I'm on the inside and I do my normal block, here's where I can hit the neck, right? I can displace the vertebra, I can short circuit the system, and the person can crumple down. If you hit the neck really hard, it's amazing what happens. Even if you put your thumb on somebody's head and just hit in and drop, and you take their vertebra and crunch to the side. I've dropped people, and I've been dropped many times, and you're just like a puddle. It just short circuits you and you go down. So watch out when you hit the necks not to do it too much. Otherwise, you might need a chiropractor to put you back in. Okay, so the punch comes in. Now, this time I'm going to coil the shot and come straight through. So when I coil a shot, instead of doing a chop or coming down, I'm coiling through and I'm hitting with the side of my hand like the rifling in a rifle. When the bullet comes out, it spins and goes. I'm coming straight in. So this one's a little harder to see. If I hit you like this, the way our eyes track, it's easy to see that shot. If I come in at an angle, it's easier to see. But if I come straight in, it's harder for the person to visually catch that. And so it's a different type of change up. So you should practice 3 different ways of striking. Let's do the right punch comes in. I do my regular block, and I come in and I hit with a normal hit to the neck. This time I do the same block, but I come down and I hit the collarbone and just go for a collarbone break. Do the same thing. Come to the side, and I hit the temple. Now I'm striking to the temple. Do the same one. I coil up low, and I hit coming in with my straight hit through with a spiral strike. Okay? So let's try a couple of those back and forth. You could do any type of move that you want to do. I'll do one, then you do one. There's a temple strike. Now I'll punch. Good. Collarbone hit. Spiral hit. I'll punch. Whoa, a multi-kimon shot. Tricky. Yeah. Oh, man, I just targeted her arm on that one. So you don't always have to hit the neck, the head, the collarbone. You could target the attacking limb. And that gets to be really fun too. So that's in some of our waza later on where she does the punch. And maybe I don't block her arm hard and then I hit her arm, which then lets me coil my body in a different way and a kick can come in. It's just unlimited what you can do for this. So that's Ichimonji no Kata. We've broken it down. The traditional way that it's taught is both people with right foot back. Right hand is in the back position. One person throws the punch. Step out, hit. Now, what you do with your feet here can change depending on the distance. And then we do our mote shuto. That's the typical way that it's done. And then all the other stuff that we've shown is all variations off of that, which I highly recommend that you do after you've really got that concept of the angles down. Okay, so let's pick another one randomly. Let's look at mote gyaku. So mote gyaku is outside wrist turn. Now, one of the things we'll teach first in class is we'll both just hold our left hand up, and you're going to come around and grab your own thumb with your 4 fingers, and you're going to put your thumb underneath your knuckles, and then you're going to twist. So this is, in effect, putting yourself in a mote gyaku, where I'm turning my wrist, and I'm pushing with my thumb on the back side, and I'm pulling in with my pinky on the other side, and I'm really torquing that on. And then I'm also pushing the wrist sideways like this. So I'm doing takiori. It's calling breaking bamboo. So I'm able to twist, spiral in, and put this lock on. So I could just do this as a warm-up, and then I'm practicing my hand positions, right? So I mote gyaku myself a few more times over and over, and I could start gentle and then feel what my wrist is doing, and I could go a little heavier, and then I shake that out, and I'll do the other side, right? So this is a good way to warm up your ligaments and tendons for when you want to start to rock and roll and go heavy, throw people all over the room, and drop them, right? Mote gyaku. So that's in the mote gyaku warm-up. So now if I'm teaching a beginner at class, or we have in our black belt set where I just step you through like serious ways to do it, and then later on we get into the henka, I'll have the person hold out their hand. So as they're holding out their hand, how I approach their hand makes a difference here for later on for higher level training. So if I just reach out, I've broken my own kamae with my back. So I could just pull her into an mote gyaku, but my back position isn't right. So what I like to do is teach good taijutsu and tactics first, and I might step up to come and grab her hand. Now my back's up and down straight, and I can start to manipulate and start to move this from there with an outside move. So if you're over here and you hold your same hand out, I'm going to reach out with this hand only so far, and then I'm going to step to finish that. So now I'm going to grab around her thumb and bring this hand up. Once this hand's up, my thumb is beneath her knuckles, and then I'm crossing and grabbing on with my other hand to double brace this. And then I could turn this out, and that starts the outside wrist turn to come down. Now, notice I'm doing this in what I call my power position area, where I'm up here manipulating it. I can have this be up really high, but now my stomach's vulnerable. I can have it down low, but sometimes it compromises my back. So when I'm in my power position and I'm in my legs, then I can easily move from here and start to turn and manipulate that hand. So now she'll hold the other hand up. I'll move forward, step into it. My 4 fingers come around the thumb and control. I bring this up with that single hand, and then I parallel with the other hand, and I have it in my control center space here. And then we can start to move and put that move on, and we could take the person down, or we can let the person just walk around, and we could start to do that. So then I hold my wrist out. She steps up on the outside, controls the thumb. Now see, that finger should be down a little bit more. There we go. And then she parallels, and now she has my wrist. Now, let's do an experiment here. Pull in with your pinkies and push with your thumbs. Oh, ho, ho. And that's when it comes on. So you can see she's got her perfect position. It's in her power position here. So like where you do your bench press, that's a really good place for her to be. If you extend your arms out, I can overpower this now easily because she doesn't have as much control. Or if she pulls it in too close to her chest, I can push here and it's easy as well. But when she's in her power position right out in front and she sinks and drops in and pulls in with her pinkies and pushes with her thumb, this comes on. So if you're training with a partner and your partner starts to put it on too much, there's this thing we call the tap. You must know the tap. So it's like somebody saying uncle back in the day when we would like mess with each other and you'd like somebody's hurt and they're like, uncle, uncle, uncle. Same thing. Tap, tap means let go immediately. There's something wrong. So if I put this move on slowly, your partner can explore what's happening with their wrist. And now there's the tap. So I let go immediately. Now she does it to me until I go to tap. And I feel, nah, I don't feel it. And there it is. And so I like to push myself a little bit and start to feel the pain a little and test it. See if somebody could really get this to pull on. So this is one aspect of multi-gyaku, outside wrist turn. I pull it up into this area. I'm parallel. I have good body dynamics myself. I'm pulling with my pinkies and I'm pushing with my thumbs. And you can start to see how that affects her balance. And we haven't even put the twist in yet into this. So let's turn over this way. He has her hand out. I go grab it, bring it up in my power position. And now, as I pull in with my pinkies and push with my thumbs, and this starts to bend her wrist and come on, I also can put a slight twist into this. Now that cascades over in that direction, and it's very easy to lock the person down and in. I'm doing this right now with my hand strength, but check this out. I could just drop into my knees and do it. And now I start to use taijutsu. And that's when it gets really strong because our legs and our spine and our lats and body is way stronger than just our hand and arm strength. So you go ahead and grab, pull it up, start to pull in, and now twist out at the same time. And that's when the magic happens. It just pinches that wrist down and in. She does the other side, comes up, and there it is. And I'm just feeling it. Now we can do it back and forth. So we call this the first part of our flow drill. So you can have your hands up. I pick one side. I come in with my step, and I get into position. I go to the other side, and I come into position. This is a really good basic way to start to learn how to do a multi-gyaku properly. So let's do it one more time. You didn't step. So this is really good. I love it when I get to correct because then you're learning out there. Did you see how she did a cross step and used her upper body? Now if she steps forward, now she's in the power position, and there it is. We do the other side, step forward. Perfect. That's what we're talking about. Awesome. And so this is using proper taijutsu. And if you're solo training at home, imagine the person's hands out there. Imagine you're grabbing the hand, bringing it up, paralleling with both thumbs, dropping down and twisting in position and sinking into your legs and using your spine and hips to twist. Okay, so now let's put this into flow technique where we're going to come off of punch. So let's have you throw a punch off of this side. I'm going to do a Jodan Nagash upper level flow. So I'm blocking her arm, and as I come down towards the wrist, I catch it. How do I catch it? Right in the multi-gyaku thumb position. So as I come, let's go closer to the camera. I'll show you guys what this hand looks like. I come down and I hook right onto the wrist, and then there's the thumb on the back side, and we parallel it. All right, so we're back here. Throw the punch. I do a Jodan Nagash. I step into third point. I come up, and then I've got the twist, and we're ready for a takedown. Other side, Jodan Nagash, step into third point, and twist. So let's look at some of the things that are happening here. If we're at this angle and you throw the punch, as I move this arm and step to her third point, look what happens to her body. I break the balance. If she's up like this, she's strong, and that other punch can come in super hard and boom, take me out. So on this first one, I take her arm and move it out, but I also extend her a little bit onto the balls of her feet. And then we have this twist. Now it's easy for me to just dump her and chuck her to the side. Other hand comes in, I extend, step to third point, come around, boom, and then we're into that same lock position. You want to do it? Okay, we're good. So this is a different way to think about the angle that's in here and what we can do with that angle. So let's look at a couple other aspects with Multi-Gyaku, things that you could do differently that would change it up, and that gives you guys some more training points to think about. As this punch comes in, I could take this to the side and then come up with this. And then I can lower this and start to control the shoulder, then the back, then the hips, and then I could step in and drop and take the person down. So instead of pushing this arm across into the third point at a mid-level, I'm taking that same arm and I'm raising it up and lowering myself and then having it come around and go into a different way. So that's another aspect to think about. Rising and falling, in and out. Now I'll show you another one. So as the punch comes in, I can also extend her onto the balls of her feet, bring this around, and then shove the elbow back in. So I'm driving her elbow back into her center line here and stuffing it. Now I've got her arm just loaded up, and it's easy for me to turn to the side and throw again. So as the arm comes in, I extend it, come out and around with my footwork, and then shove elbow back in with my legs. And then I could twist back around and uncoil it. So this is called stuffing, where you grab the multi and you stuff their elbow back in, but you have to use your body to do this. If you just do your arm work, they're going to feel that out, and then they'll be able to do a counter on it. But if I put my whole body with twisting and torquing and using all those lever points behind it, I'm way stronger with Taijutsu than I am with just regular strength. So these are some concepts for you to think about with a Multi-Gyaku and with Ichimonji no Kata. Just basics, but let yourself explore. Find out what you can come up with and then just play with it. So a lot of times in Japan, Hatsumi Sensei would say, go play, whenever he would finish a technique. And it was really cool for him to do that because to me that means go explore, go find out. Don't let it be the same old thing. Like a lot of people who say they're bored with whatever their training is, it's because they're bored with it and they're not exploring, they're not keeping it alive, and they're not experimenting and making it, whatever you want it to be. You could be bored or you can explore, and you can get another partner who likes to explore, and then the sky's the limit. It's like it lights your batteries up and juices you up when you have somebody who's turned on by the different types of training, and you get to train together. There's nothing better than that. It's just awesome. So thank you very much. We're gonna stop there today with our basics. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let's talk a little about the Ninja Challenge coming up. So if you'd like to do the Ninja Challenge, what the Ninja Challenge really is about is it's about getting beginner people interested in doing ninjutsu. And so we're going to show a bunch of different aspects of ninjutsu. You're going to train, we're going to show those aspects for about 10 minutes a day, and then you guys are going to take that and go try it out. And at the end of the week, every week, we're going to have a little contest and drawing for free prizes. And at the end of the month, the 30-day challenge, we're going to pick a grand prize winner. And it's going to be a really super cool prize. And I'm looking forward to that. We have a lot of people who have already sent in their emails and joined up for this. So if you'd like to get in on the 30-day Ninja Challenge, grab your kids, grab your wife, grab your best buddy and come and join us. You can all do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then this will probably be the first of many challenges because we've already had people write in what they wanted to work on. And I'm like, oh, cool. That could be its own 30-day challenge. So we're going to really have fun exploring with this and then just keep these challenges going. So if you'd like to get in on the Ninja Challenge, go ahead and write us an email at info@ninjatrainingtv. In the subject line, just put 30-day Ninja Challenge. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're hoping to see in future challenges. And then let us know that you're interested and we will get you in. We're going to have a private Facebook page for everybody to post videos who wants to of what they're doing on our Ninja Challenges and give each other some really good positive feedback. And then we're going to morph this thing and see where it goes because we've had a bunch of people sign up and I'm like, oh, this is going to get good. So I'm excited to have this happen. I'm excited for you guys to join us. And I'm excited to see all the new people that don't know about ninjutsu that are actually joining up and going, I don't know if I could do this or not. And it's like, you can. We can all make this happen and we'll help mentor people and show them what ninjutsu is and why we love it and what it has to offer. So thank you guys so much for joining today. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. And as always, keep training.